Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. There are some reports this morning, the 29th of October 2022, that Sevastopol in Crimea was attacked, and by whom we assume that is Ukrainians. Now I have two articles here talking about this attack, and it seems like the Russians try to defend the attack with S-300 missiles, and something happened. Explosions were heard and damages occurred. So, Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrainian obviously news outlet from the 29th of October 2022 reports explosions in Sevastopol. Russians allege UAV attack by Ukraine that damaged ship. Okay. The Russian Ministry of Defense has claimed that the armed forces of Ukraine attacked the occupied city of Sevastopol, Crimea, with drones and damaged a ship at 4 a.m. on October 29. The source is the Ministry of Defense of Russia. The Russians say 9 UAVs and 7 autonomous marine drones were involved in the alleged attack by the armed forces of Ukraine. The Ivan Golubets minesweeper was damaged, as well as barrier at Privdena Bay. Russia's air defense system apparently destroyed all the aerial targets. The aggressor country's Ministry of Defense has called this a terrorist attack prepared by Ukrainian soldiers under the leadership of British specialists. Previously, explosions rang out in the Russian-occupied city of Sevastopol on the Crimean Peninsula on the morning of October 29th. Russia claims that its ships were repelling a UAV attack. That's the first article, and the other one is where the Ukrainians say that actually the consequences is from the 29th of October, says the Southern Defense Forces on explosions in Sevastopol. They say there are consequences if you shoot combat mosquitoes with S-300 missiles. Obviously they would say it was not us. Why? So they would say this is the game. We hit your infrastructure, you say it was us, we say no it wasn't. When you hit our infrastructure, we say, see, he's attacking our infrastructure without us doing anything to them. Why? Because the mass media will cover for us and say, no, in Sevastopol and Crimea it was not the Ukrainians, they denied it, so I don't know who those were, I don't know, the French or something. Who else could be, you know what I mean? But when the Russians destroyed the same kind of targets, they say, oh, see, the terrorists right here, and the Russians say, well, it was as a retaliation for you attacking that. We didn't attack you. It's like in the kindergarten. It's a kindergarten or schoolyard argument between. That's the mentality over there. So the Southern Defense Forces of Ukraine suspect that failed launches of air defense missiles. Why would they launch them? The defense systems by the Russian invaders could be a reason for explosions in the occupied city of Sevastopol on Saturday. So what is that? There is no official confirmation yet, but there is an understanding that if you are afraid of combat mosquitoes and use aggressive air defense systems against them, you will try to strike mosquitoes with S-300 missiles. This can lead to the expect opposite reaction. What do you mean? Obviously, the Ukrainians try to downplay this for the reasons I think make sense, as I mentioned. There was unverified and unconfirmed information that damage to several vessels of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian Federation. So later, the Russian Ministry of Defense claimed that the armed forces of Ukraine allegedly attacked the occupied city of Sevastopol with UAVs at 4 a.m. on the October 29th. They also confirmed that the Ivan Golubets, a sea trawler, was damaged. They say that it was a minesweeper. I don't know if the same thing is this. Vasily Nebeznia, the permanent representative of Russia to the UN, has said that the Russian occupiers allegedly discovered drones in Ukraine that can spread mosquitoes infected with dangerous viruses. What the hell is the connection here? There's no connection. Bullshit. Let's put it this way. This is what I take out of this. Someone used military equipment to damage something in Sevastopol. Infrastructure, Navy ships, whatever it was. Who could those be? Now we just start to, suppose. Most likely it was the Ukrainians. Who else? Unless the Russians, organized a false flag operation and said, see, that's them. We're going to destroy our thing and then I'm going to blame them. I don't think it's the necessity to do that anymore, because it's obvious that the Ukrainians attacked the Kerch Bridge. Not I want to say obvious. This is per the investigation conducted by the Russians and the Americans, from articles that I read a few days ago, scolded the Ukrainians for doing what they did to the Crimean bridge. That means kind of like, you guys did it. The Ukrainians said it was not us. Okay, let's say it wasn't. But the fact is, someone attacked Crimea. The Russians defended. Certain things got damaged, even though they said, well, no, nothing got damaged. We got everything down that was attacking. The problem is, what's next? The thing that I didn't like, not that I liked everything in that article, but the thing that really is very concerning is the claim that the Ukrainian army was supported, helped by the British army. Forces, however you want to call that. So I don't think that's a very good thing, if that's true, always. And I'm pretty much, I don't want to say certain, but I'm very much inclined that these guys, the Brits, the Americans, some French probably, are, and for whatever reason the Dutch, are involved in direct operations. Poles, not to say the Poles, but the Poles don't have this kind of expertise, I guarantee you that. Not that they're dumb or something, but it's not their expertise in a war, in a sea warfare and this kind of attacks. I'm putting it on United States and Britain in the first place. France, no. So I think is one of the two that supported the Ukrainians in doing what they did. And Israel, but Israel says no, we're not involved yet, which I think they are, but we're going to find out more and more. They just provide intelligence to Ukraine. Pfft, okay, I believe that. Only intelligence. That's enough. Like I tell you where to shoot. Hey, come over here. You see him over there? Shoot. Boof. Okay, now you go here. Shoot. Boof. But I'm not involved. I'm just telling him exactly where you are so he can shoot you. But I'm not involved, man. It's just intelligence. That's exactly what happens. Just narrow it down to reality. I give you the coordinates. I tell you where they are. You go and blow them up, but I'm not involved. What the hell is this? You're part of it 100%. Because if that would be the Ukrainian military was one thing, right? With the Israeli military, it's the same thing. It's just a different name. So anyway, what will the Russians do? I think they will start blowing up more and more and more. Not only critical infrastructure in Ukraine, but really they will say, we're going to mow down things like they did. So this is just another reason, probably a justification for the Russians to intensify their indiscriminate attack and probably say, see, now we do it. Before you said we do it anyway. So why not live up to the name you gave us? Terrorists, criminals of war, invaders, anything, Nazis, everything, we're there. But now we're just going to do it under the justification that look what you did to us in Sevastopol. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth and be just.